Welcome, guys, to the Calisthenic Hub. Yes. If you guys looking at who we have here, you already may know him. But those who are new to the channel or are new to calisthenics, this is Viktor Kamenov. It's an honor to have him. A big inspiration to my journey when I first started. I mean, if you guys don't see him, just put his name on Instagram or YouTube, and you'll see tons of stuff about him. But if you guys want to get to know more about him, stick around because we're gonna have the full interview here. So thank you guys for joining and tuning in, and thank you most of all, Viktor, for your time. I really appreciate that.
It's pleasure for me, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
Yeah,
how about we just get straight to it? Let's find out more about you. Tell me, we already know your name, Viktor Kamenov. How about tell us how old you are and where you're from?
I'm 21 right now, and in less than a week I'll be 22. Yeah, I'm from Bulgaria, Sofia, the capital.
Awesome. And when did you start calisthenics and why?
Uh, 2012 I started. I had some attempts of basic pull-ups in 2011, but I was not that serious, so I don't count it as a start. So
Got it.
let's say 2012 summer I
Okay.
started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you already have 8 years of training, right? What?
Yeah, I already have 8 years of training experience.
So what
Yeah.
was the motivation that got you into the sport?
Oh, it was really different all over the years, like from YouTube videos mainly. Because back in 2012, I remember Hannibal for King. It's one really strong guy from New York, I think.
Yeah.
He was doing all these pull-ups and muscle-ups. So yeah, he was like my first inspirations. Also from the gymnastics, I was really always into gymnastics. I was watching competitions even from a young age. So yeah,
What move in particular did you fall in love with when you first saw it on YouTube? Was there a specific move that you saw or skill?
handstand. Yeah, it was
Handstand.
handstand because for a beginner, it's kind of cool because you're with your hats like inverted and it looks scary. And usually people who are outside the streets, they find it really difficult and
Absolutely.
scary. Yeah, but when you get into the sport, you understand that it's just the basics. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
that was one of the first skills that I was really inspired by, and that I was putting much time and effort to learn. And it really helped me for gaining strength in my shoulder, which lately was really good for all the planche movements and all the push stuff.
Yeah, for sure. As we know, planche requires a lot of shoulder strength. So handstand definitely helped you tremendously on that, and also
Mhm.
handstand builds that basic strength that you need for planche and other moves in calisthenics. That's amazing. That's amazing, Victor. So a little bit more about your journey in the beginning. What was challenging in the beginning?
Challenging, all the skills are challenging. All the
Sure.
skills are challenging, but it's really important not to look at it like challenge, but to enjoy the process. Like even right now, I don't think that much about the goal that I set like in 2 months or 1 year, but I'm more enjoying the process, the training right now. So I can say challenging. Yeah, all the skills. For example, even the handstands in the beginning was challenging, but it was more fun.
Gotcha.
It
Yeah,
was more
yeah,
fun.
absolutely. Calisthenics is definitely a lot more fun than a lot of the disciplines that involve some sort of fitness. I've realized just mastering your body, you get some sort of gratification. When, for example, I'm sure when you first mastered the handstand, the feeling inside you was
Mhm.
amazing, right? Talk
Yeah,
to
of
me about
course,
that. What
of
was that
course.
first, the first time when you first unlock a move? What's that feeling that you get? Can you remember?
Oh, really? I don't remember. It was so long ago. Yeah, I don't remember. But it's the same feeling every time for every skill that you unlock.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't go away. It's addictive.
it's like just you feel that like you're going to another level. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's much cooler if that particular move is in your list of the goals because like you're proving yourself that you're able for to get what you want. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you mentioned lists. Do you usually write down your goals?
yeah, of
Or
course, of
yeah,
course,
it's
of
really
course.
important to have that visualization. Would you agree?
I was not doing that from the right beginning, but since 2015, I was always writing down my goals and even writing my trainings, how are they going and the sequence of the exercises. And really, it really helped me to track my progress. Yeah, right now I'm not doing it that much because I'm trying to just to maintain my level. Yeah,
Right.
not that much into getting to new really hard skills. But yeah, I'm still trying to track where I'm.
Right. It's really important to document your journey. As you mentioned, you can measure your progress there by
Yeah,
documenting your journey.
from 2015 to 2018, some like this, maybe 3 4 years, I was writing down each training. Yeah, and the next day, the next training that is the same, like let's say today is Monday, the next Monday I was trying to do each of the skills just a little bit better. Like let's say if today I do 2 seconds throttle planche, the next training I'll do 3 seconds. You see, it's simple as that. It's simple as
Right.
that.
It's just adding more pressure or more time under tension, should I say,
Mhm.
to that skill set, or maybe it might be reps. Maybe you're doing pseudo plunge push-ups or whatnot.
Yeah,
The
of course,
basics to
it's
help
the
you.
same logic for
Same
all the
logic.
skills.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's the same logic not only in the sport but outside the sport. You see, you must make all those connections not to be that confined only in the sport, but to think what you can get from it.
I'm glad you mentioned that because you can get so much. Personally, it's affected me other areas of my life, and I'm sure it has for you too. Um, let's talk about your training now because you mentioned you're trying to maintain your training.
Mm-hmm.
How is it different from when you first started to now after 8 years of developing all this strength and all these skills and also developing a regimen for your training? How is it different?
Well, for sure, the first year I had no specific plan. I was
Okay,
just testing and seeing how my body reacts.
sure.
Then when I was going for competition, I was aiming more for getting that endurance because for competition you need endurance and to be able to do all the skills in one set for let's say 3 minutes.
Right.
And right now I'm thinking more about single attempts of just some of the most common exercises like piece, full planche, front lever, just the basics, grips
Got it.
to maintain the level. Because when I have that basic strength, I can always go for harder grips. Just if you have that basic initial strength for each skills, you can then go for harder
Variations.
variations. Yeah, harder variation, which sometimes seems harder, but in fact they're easier than just the most simple. Yeah,
You probably
but
would
it's
say,
another topic. Yeah, it's another topic.
yeah, I think that just takes a little bit of mental and physical conditioning. Would you agree?
Yeah, mental and physical conditioning. Yeah. So right now I'm just focusing on single attempts and just maintaining my strength.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I've seen your transformation over the time. Like I said, I mentioned I started following you, and you were a big inspiration. But there's a lot of transformation videos of you when you first started and now, man. And you've packed on some weight. You know,
Yeah, back to
yeah, for sure. And I feel like a lot of us, when we first start, is because we're either really skinny or the type of bodies that our metabolism are really high. So we need to eat more and do more to actually gain that muscle mass. What did you do to help you gain this muscle mass?
Look, I was never that much focused on bodybuilding,
Got it.
like my body. It just came like a gift from the skills, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, sometimes I was going to fitness doing biceps curls and, you know, this,
Yeah,
these
big
things
man.
about the body preparations, specifically physical look, but I was never that much focused into it. So as I told you, it came like a gift. For example, Maltese, it has a lot of pressure on the biceps. Probably it helped for developing it. I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. So you were
But
really
it's
just
not my
training.
goal and it will never be.
You were really just training for the strength aspect. So if you did a bicep curl, it was really just to get the strength aspect, not really a bigger pump in your arms, right? If
Yeah,
you,
of course,
you
of
did.
course.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I always say, you could always mix up some style of training or other disciplines such as weightlifting every now and then to supplement or to complement your skill training or calisthenic training. It's really important. And I'm sure you mentioned that earlier.
I was doing also bench press. Bench press. Yeah, most of the guys connected with planche because it looks like planche push-ups, but in fact it's different.
It's
So
a different
yeah, I
movement.
was just doing it for strength.
Got it.
I
Got
wanted
it.
to try something else different from the skills.
And a bench press is still a push movement nonetheless. So it definitely kind of will
Yeah,
correlate.
somehow it will help you. Even though it's different angle of
Mhm.
the hands, it will still somehow help you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And mixing up different disciplines, to better yourself, I think it's a great way of training.
Yeah.
And not restricting yourself to only one discipline of training. It's if you can find something else that can help you better a skill, why not try it and give it a shot? Like you said, it's about uh restructuring your training, looking at your training, and look at how it works for your body. So,
Of course, of
and
course.
that's part of documenting. If you did a bench press today, see how it affects you a month later, and then try your skill. It's always
Yeah,
experimental. It's experimental, really, at the end of the day.
absolutely. I was thinking about today I'll do 100 kilograms, and the next training I'll put just a little bit above it, even not 1 kilo, just a little
Right,
bit above it. And
right.
I'll just get the goal that I
Yeah,
set.
absolutely, absolutely. And it's always just kind of measuring your progress and always trying to get better. Do you do, as far as nutrition, do you do anything in specific to maintain your current body weight?
Right now, not that much. I don't have a specific diet. I'm just avoiding junk foods and
Conscious eating, conscious eating.
yeah, conscious eating. Yeah, before I was going extreme with the calories intake. I was counting even calories from the coffee, but I saw that it's not working that good for me. I saw more negative
Got it.
things than positive. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it helps for some short-term gains in the sport, but overall it's not that good. And outside the sport, it's also not that healthy and good. If you
Right.
go extreme, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure that you want to match your level of training with your level of intake as far as nutrition and
yes,
diet. It's really important for recovery. And it's the muscles need fuel, man. The muscles need fuel. Now, as far as recovery, what do you do for recovery? Do you take days off in between your training, or do you take?
days off. I don't have a rest day really. It's
Okay,
just a light training, just
light
a light
training.
training. Right now, I do two trainings, strength and one training when I'm actually doing some light stuff like handstands or just running some cardio stuff. So that's my rest day, but I never sit back and watch TV. I don't feel that good. And
Yeah, yeah. So you do more of an active rest day as opposed to a passive rest day.
yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to just do what works for you guys. It's if your body needs a rest day, take your rest day. But if you have the energy to continue go by a bike ride
Yes.
or just practice on some handstands, because
It's really unique and subjective depending on the person.
completely
So
agree, completely agree,
it's really not proper to say that's the only way.
100%.
Some guys don't feel it. You just need to test yourself to see what works and what not.
I completely agree. I completely agree, and that's why I said earlier it's experimental. You got to just see what works best for you, in terms of everything in your training and life. And I feel like life is a huge experiment. You gotta try things out to figure until you figure it out, just like
Of
calisthenics.
course, of course.
Yeah,
As I told you, the sport is absolutely the same as everything outside. Yeah. So experimenting and see how things
yeah,
are going.
exactly. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that brings me up to my next subject. As we know, calisthenics builds a mind and muscle connection, and also a physical attribute. It builds you, physically and strong. But have you seen that it has affected other areas of your life that is not your mental or your physical?
Of course, it has big influence. Like, let's say, just for example, self-control. It's really hard for you always to be motivated to go to the training. Yeah, but you must do it if you're following that goals. But for that, you need self-discipline. You see, it's
Absolutely.
not only about motivation. You can't be always motivated. There are days that you're not on that training topic. Sometimes there are days, but the discipline is that one that helps you keep going. So of course, discipline you need not only in the sport but outside.
Yeah, and I feel like across your training, you build that. It's if you don't have it in the beginning, I feel
Build it and it's slowly build it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
slowly, yeah. In the beginning, I was not consistent that much.
mm,
I was not consistent, and I saw that it doesn't work that good if I'm not consistent.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you start implementing the same way of thinking in other areas of life, and you see that it
Yeah,
actually works. Yeah.
absolutely. Hard
Mhm.
work and consistency is what pays off, not just in calisthenics but other areas of your life. And I've seen that. I've seen that through my life and through this project with other people's journeys. It's inspiring.
Mhm.
Uh, every time you meet somebody new, such as yourself, like you get inspired even further, because everyone has a different journey, but we all have the same destination, which is to be the masters of our body. And I love that.
Exactly.
We all have
Yeah.
different experiences, and we can all learn from that.
Mhm.
So, what keeps you motivated now? What's that motivation that keeps you?
Uh, Look, it's really hard right now because yeah, during the years I had many idols, and most of them right now I'm way stronger than them. So I can say I still get inspired from some of my old idols, even though I'm stronger. It's because it's about the persona, it's about the energy. Even though I see somebody that was really inspiring for me long ago, even if I see him doing only pull-ups right now, I'll get inspired. See, it's about the energy.
Yeah.
Another inspiration, I don't know, maybe it may sound a little bit narcissistic, but sometimes I watch my old videos because I connected with some memories.
I know, and it's not a narcissistic thought because I'm glad that you brought that up. You know, you look back at yourself when you first started. That right there is so much motivation. We should be our number one fan. We should be our number one supporter. And I like that you
Yes.
mentioned that because I document my journey. I look back at those times and I'm like, shit, I couldn't do one pull up, and now I'm pulling up. And you know, I couldn't hold a tuck for 5 seconds. Now I'm holding it for 15. And
Yeah, it all comes from that. You saw how your progress went, and you
mhm,
imagine how this progress will continue.
exactly.
You see, it
Yeah.
all comes from this.
I completely agree with you, man. I'm
Yeah,
completely agree with you, and I'm glad that you give yourself motivation. It's beautiful to inspire yourself. You know, it's what we should aspire to.
and yeah, that's not only about me. I've talked with other athletes, and they share the same thing.
I
Yeah,
agree, dude. That's amazing. I'm glad you brought that up because self motivation is something you can use, and the way you use that is by documenting your journey and looking back at it, self reflecting
absolutely. Mhm.
and reflecting. That's really important. It's really important. Um, what can you tell yourself if you were to go back 4 years? I mean, 8 years, and give yourself a piece of advice. What would you tell Victor 8 years ago?
Well, actually, a lot of things. If we look overall, a lot of things. Yeah, but to be more specific about the sport, maybe just not rush and don't take for granted what doctors say to you also.
Yeah,
Yeah, but mainly not rushing because as you told, it leads to injuries and injuries lead to slowing down the progress. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And this is a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know. And we're
of
only here
course,
to get
of
better.
course.
Yeah,
You're competing with yourself.
hundred
That's
percent,
why it's a
100%.
single sport. Yeah,
Yep,
it's a single sport.
yep.
Mhm.
So I know because of COVID, a lot of us, a lot of competitions have been canceled. Are you looking to do competitions in the future?
In the coming 1 year, probably not. Probably
Probably not.
not.
Okay.
I'm really not that much motivated for competing because I already done a lot. From let's say 2013 till 2018, I was competing, and I'm not. I feel like I already got what I
What you set yourself out to
wanted.
do.
Yeah, what I wanted. But sometimes I start losing it. Because when you get away from something, you start wanting it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say what will happen in 2 or 3 years, but in the coming 1 year, probably I'll not compete. Yeah,
Got it. Got it. I mean, you're still very young, so this is why I say, you know, if you're still competing, because as we know, the older you are, there's now you have to do the risk and reward, you know?
it's also about reward, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
What competing will reward you?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Do you
completely
need
agree.
it? Do you need it actually?
Completely agree. Completely. And
You
like
can
you
see
said,
you can see many athletes don't compete and they make way more money and living from calisthenics than the ones that are competing and trying to prove themselves each year. You see, it's about this, and you feel it. When you feel it, you're starting it by this way.
I completely agree. I completely agree. It's a personal journey
You know,
if you
that's
want to
the
compete.
truth. That's the truth. And when I was competing, I was never doing it for the prize or anything. I was doing it just for because I liked how I felt when I was on stage when like 500 people were outside and watching me, only me.
Yeah.
I was enjoying the energy out
Absolutely.
there. Yeah, I was not
Absolutely.
thinking about the price or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and when I said risk and reward, is what I meant by that is because I'm glad you brought that up. You know, you wanna see, like you said, what is the reward for yourself, not whether it's a prize or first place. It's really, am I gonna risk myself to do this to prove myself? And that's really what it is. It's a self journey. It's a self competition.
look, it's really good for beginners that are just starting right now. They somehow need to prove to the audience. Yeah, but for me, I see that proof every day when I go to Instagram and people write me. I don't need to be on the stage and to hear people telling me this.
Yeah,
You
man.
see, yeah.
As Daniel said, you're an alien, you're a beast, man, and I've seen the stuff that you can do, and it's amazing, man. And you've already proved to yourself that you can compete at a really high level. And what do you see yourself doing now in the future? Like, what's gonna motivate
Look, I usually don't like sharing my personal goals.
you? Okay,
I
okay,
don't know if it's superstition, but I feel like when I share them, like I'm not that much excited into them again. But yeah, in a really plain view, I'll
sure.
just say that I want to recover back to 100% because I had a shoulder injury this summer. So I'm already on 70%, let's say, but I want to get some more strength and I'm working on it. Yeah, getting back to Instagram, posting videos, continue the programs, and maybe most importantly, and the thing that is most enjoyable for me is going to workshops. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
was
I feel just amazing when I'm doing this job and I see the world, and it it feels like the best thing ever.
absolutely. And speaking of workshops, I see that you've done it in Europe and Asia. Are you looking to do it in North America or the Americas?
I had an invitation before the COVID crisis
Okay,
about New York. About New York, there was one gym, but since the program came and the gym was closed, and we delayed it. So
got it.
probably next year, yeah. Also, I had invitation for Australia,
Okay.
Melbourne. Yeah, one more time I'll go to Shanghai. So yeah, right now I'm just organizing all the stuff. So when everything's
It's back to
over,
normal. Yeah,
back to
yeah,
normal. Yeah,
yeah. And when Absolutely, you man. do come to New York, I'm from New York, so please let me know, man. I
we'll
want to
see each
go.
other. Yeah,
I want to go. I want to go, man. It doesn't
of
matter
course, man. It will be a
whatever the
pleasure.
interest, whatever the fee is. I'm paying it because I want to go see you. I want to learn.
Man,
And
if I go to New York, for sure I'll stay for 2 weeks or more. So we'll have enough time.
let's
Like
do it, man.
wherever I go, I always stay a lot of time
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to
I'll,
enjoy. It's not only about the workshop and the work that must be done, but also enjoying the
your
place and
life, your
seeing
life.
people. Yeah,
Absolutely. And listen, if you ever want to go around the city, man, just let me know. I'm more than open to show you around the city in New York and show you
yeah,
the
some
realness.
sightseeing. Yeah,
Yeah, show you the real New York, not just the tourist part. What
uh-huh.
setbacks have you encountered in your calisthenic journey, Victor? Because you've been doing it for eight
Setbacks,
years, so I'm sure there's probably some setbacks in life that may have.
setbacks. I don't know. It's hard to say again. Injuries, of course. Injuries are
Hmm.
setbacks. Also, some bad memories on competition because not all the competition that I was taking part were really good for me. Like in Beijing 2016, I missed 540. 540 the dynamic skill.
Yeah,
Like every second kid is doing it right now, but back 2016 it was hard dynamic skill. So yeah, I was training really hard for that competition and I lost it. If I catch it, I had to be second place, something like this. Yeah.
got it.
So yeah, it's like a really deep scar for me from that time. I
Yeah,
still
man.
feel it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I don't have that much setbacks. It's all it's all positive.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm sure there's probably was some setbacks, but you didn't see it as a setback. You saw it as a lesson learned
Of
or an
course, even
opportunity
from
to
the
learn.
negative things, you need to see positive ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's what I love about this. Is like you said, it's falling in love with the journey, falling in love with the failures, falling in love with the times that you can't hold it for that goal. And you learn through that process. You learn through that process.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk about more about your future because I want to know like I figured you've been doing it for 8 years. You're not gonna stop anytime soon, right? It's gonna be a
Of
lifestyle.
course not. Look, even if I stop dealing with calisthenics, I mean, in Instagram, stop posting, I'm always behind the
The
scene. I'm
scenes.
always training. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Of course, keep focusing on calisthenics and start developing. The recent 3 months, I was not that active as I told you because of the injury.
Right.
And I usually don't like posting stuffs which are not on the level that I want.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, and sometimes it's better to hide a little bit and then show to the people, and it's like a shock, like that. You come from nowhere,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
haven't posted for 5 months, and then you come back with
Wow.
the thing that you were thinking before the goals. Of course, even right now, I can post some straddle planches or something like this, but people will get exhausted from me.
I
You
understand.
see,
I
there
understand.
are two ways of growing on Instagram. Like one is posting consistently,
Sure.
but not that much good stuff, and the other is not posting that consistently, but good stuff. And
Got it.
also posting good stuff consistently, which is really, really hard if you're dealing with other things. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I just choose the other way of not being that consistent, but trying to bring quality to the people.
And quality is the thing that we should all strive for, whether it's a social media post or whether it's your training or your life.
Mhm.
Quality is really important, over quantity, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
of course. If you look my videos on Instagram, some of them are tried like 100 times just to be perfect, like I'm imagining them.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
and
of the combos.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it takes 100 times to get that right combo, or that right vision of what you think,
Yeah,
good quality
it's
is.
important people not to look at Instagram and take all the things like you see you always perfect, because behind the scene you're not always perfect. You're just showing yourself perfect, but you see some of the combos that I did. It looks really good, but I've tried it 100 times, and those 99 were not clean and not good.
There you go. It's about that one chance, that one time that looks good. And I
Yeah,
feel
that
like
one chance. Hmm.
you in life or in calisthenics, right? You don't get it up until you get it. And like you said, it's like you could do it
Yes.
100 times, and then that one time, that 101 time, you got the planche or the straddle, whatever it
Hmm.
is, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is what I needed to do this whole time. And I love that, man. I love that, brother. What
Hmm.
advice would you give to somebody who's starting off?
So my biggest advice for the guys that are just starting right now will be the same as the advice that I'll give to my old version, as you asked me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll be not rushing, because right now there are so many kids out there are looking up to their idols, and let's say they can't make 15 pull-ups and they're going for Maltese on ground, and of course that's risky and leads to injuries and lack of progress. Yeah, so that will be the biggest advice: just not rushing.
and you guys, you heard it from Viktor Kamenov, guys. Do not rush. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. You want to try to avoid like as many injuries as you can, but learn. Train smart, train hard, but train smart first of all. And I think that's the best advice that you can give anybody, man. And thank you again, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Man, it's pleasure. It's pleasure. I told you I have some free time, and I'm always open
Yeah,
to
yeah, for
such a
sure.
conversations.
Do you have a favorite skill and a least favorite
I
skill?
don't have a favorite, but let's say I have preferences.
Okay, okay,
Preferences. Yeah, mainly pushing skills.
okay.
I'm not that much into pull, but I'm still trying to be complete. Yeah, but it's mainly pushing, and planche stuffs are my favorite, let's say. But still,
Yeah,
I don't have favorite. I like all the skills.
yeah. I see that you were coming off with a ebook for finger planche.
For finger planche, yeah, for
Yeah,
finger planche.
that's pretty amazing. I recently had the pleasure of interviewing Juan Calisthenic Full. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know this guy. He's sometimes right me. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing. I think planches on two
two.
fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I
Uh-huh.
saw that, and then I'm like, wow, man, the body is truly amazing. Like the planching on two fingers, it's
Uh-huh.
amazing, man. And I think that's a skill that you obviously work towards up to. What do you feel as a community calisthenics can improve on?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It's still a brand new sport. It has a lot room for growth and improvement. So this is why it's always good to ask the athletes at a really high level, how can we improve?
It's really tough one because there are really different types of athletes. Some prefer being more complete, others going only for freestyle or only for static. So I was going to tell you that there need to be a system of judging. There should be a judging system which should be applied for all the competitions. But of course, it doesn't work when there are different types of competition and different types of people. Yeah, so probably what I'm thinking is about separating types of competition, like doing only statics competition, doing only freestyle, doing only uh,
A combination of both.
combinations, yeah, combinations and competition for complete guys. So yeah, just separating those three main, uh,
Elements,
those three main
like categories or elements of
categories, yeah,
calisthenics.
categories, and yes, and putting some rules. But again, it's hard to say rules because I'm for the rules because I like gymnastics
Right.
and I like strict sports. But some other guys are more about putting, making it more free.
Got it.
So
I
yeah,
mean, it's good. It's good just to have a fine balance of, like you said, creativity, have that freedom to create your combos and express yourself through calisthenics, but also a way we can judge and hold accountability of who's who's winning in these competitions. You know, who's actually putting their best foot forward and saying this is first place, this is second place, this is third place, and I don't mind if we separate it where it's dynamics here, statics there, and then complete athletes here, you know, and have different categories of, you know, hey, he's the best freestyler, he's the best static hold, and this is the
yes,
best complete athlete, you know, like that's great because, you know, people master things differently. You know, not everybody is a master in both or in one or the other. It's just whatever you're passionate
of
for.
course. Look, there are some initial uh, there are some starters, let's say, about doing this division. Let's say Burning Gate, they're trying to give more points for statics, while let's say other organizations like World of Bar Heroes are going for more complete
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So they already started somehow, but it's about improving more.
Yeah, exactly. There's always room for improvement, and the sport is really in the infancy stage. It's still very young. And as we have these type of initiatives and these conversations, you know, we just grow as a community, as in a sport. So it's just sparking the conversation and see who listens and see who will add their point of view and opinions. You know,
Mm.
it's a community, and together we can grow it and make the sport being recognized and give it the respect it deserves.
Man, you're so motivated, really.
Yeah,
You look so motivated. It's really amazing for a guy that has just started. Like,
and that's 30 years old, right?
and that's 30 years old.
Yeah, man. It's life changing for me, brother. It really has been. Not just because of the physical aspect, but the mental, the spiritual. My family, they've seen a huge growth in me, and they're like,
Yeah, I look at it in your eyes. In your eyes, I look at it, yeah.
yeah, you could tell, man. I really appreciate the fact that you can see that I'm conveying that passion. I really appreciate that, and
Look, you're more passionate than me. You look like
it could also be that I'm meeting Viktor Kamenov for the first time too. So I have a lot of energy right now.
you need to give me some energy, man. You need to give me some energy.
Listen, I'm very energetic, man. I'm very energetic. It's also, I just woke up. You know, I was like, I gotta wake up. I gotta get ready for Viktor Kamenov. Have my coffee, have my water. You know, get ready, get ready. I gotta got my questions going. So it's it's early. So I got all this energy, and it's late afternoon. Were you training today?
Yeah, I'll be training, but later.
You find training in the night better or in the morning better?
Oh, it's all about the work. Uh,
Got it. Got it.
if I'm free in the morning, I train in the morning. No,
So,
but usually I train in the morning. I feel like better works for me.
yeah. Yeah.
But lately, I also train in the late evenings, like
Got it.
10 p.m., 11 p.m. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that good for me, but as I told you, discipline.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need to do it. You just need to do it.
Just get it done. Just get it done.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the morning or later in the afternoon or evening when you're done with your day. It's about getting it done. Absolutely, man. Victor, man, I just want to say thank you again for doing this. Let us know where we can follow you. I'll put the links in the description.
Okay, so it's Viktor down dash Kamenov on Instagram, so you can check me out.
We'll do, and we'll put the
I'm
link
not
of
that
his
active, but probably in the coming weeks I'll get better and I'll post some new stuff.
guy. He posts his quality stuff, so be sure to follow him. If you don't know Victor Kamenov, I hope you got to know him a little better now through this interview. And I'll put the links in the description. Victor, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been a humbling experience. It's been a great experience meeting you and getting to know you. And thank you for sharing the passion with me, man.
It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's been an awesome time.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for watching the Calisthenic Hub. That's a wrap. Viktor Kamenov, thank you from Bulgaria, New York. You already know we did it, baby. Let's go.